Yeah, so kind of gloomy today, guys. What are you guys doing with your off time right now?
What happened? Hold on, Phil. Something happened on our thing here, our screen. Hey, Shan, come here. Right here, this white thing popped up.
Okay, we're all live, everybody. How you guys doing?
Hey, Phil, how you doing? Thanks.
Good.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you for having us, Phil.
Yeah. You guys all clear on the audio and video?
Yeah, we're looking good. Yeah, thanks for the invite on your show today, dude.
Yeah. Everybody, thanks for joining Pro Surf Blog today for some epic surf news. And today we have Mitch Farner and Liam O'Callahan. And super stoked to have these guys on. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, working my way back into things. And I figured everybody, I follow these guys on Instagram, and when I see them in the water, that's always a good thing too. But I've just been seeing some incredible surfing stuff going on between both of you guys. And so I wanted to kind of, share some stories and some insight to, what's been going on with you. So Mitch, Swamis, I guess we'll work our way up to the heavy stuff. Let's start with Swamis. So I saw you taking off on some waves there. I'm going to pull some up in a minute. So how, as I pull that up, how were some of those bigger days at Swamis going?
Yeah, that was a really rad swell. Super good waves. Everybody that was surfing should know how good that swell was. So very, very crowded.
Okay.
But it was very crowded. So it was challenging for that reason. I've surfed it years before, pretty good size too, and a lot of people, but this time it seemed there was a lot of surfing going on there. So we got out there though, and we got some waves, me and Liam, and we surfed out there for a while. We had a good time. It was really, really competitive. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, I was actually, I didn't see any videos there I had for Swamis, but I think I got some pictures. So let me try something here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I saw you taking off on these waves that look great, but it looked like there was quite a few people in the mix. So go ahead.
Yeah, the wave came in real wide at times. So some of the guys were taking off almost too deep. So it was, some of the times I felt like I dropped in on a couple of guys, but the time they even got around to where I was at, I had probably already had the better part of that wave. So there was a little confusion on some of the waves. Everybody's really hungry to get with those waves out there. So you're trying to judge the wave, and sometimes there's another person behind you that you're not aware of. And I know I did that, and I apologize for that. But there's a lot of good surfers that were out there that day, and it was a lot of fun. We had a really good day, a couple days out there for sure. Liam also caught some really nice waves, and it was a lot of fun surfing with some of the old guys I haven't surfed with in a while on swells like that. So you think guys that would disappear, you don't see them for a while, and then all of a sudden they show up on these really good days, and it makes it even better, I think. So
okay, so I think I might have found something here. Let's see if I can pull this off. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, you got to come up for you guys there.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, this is one of the waves that my good buddy Tim Fox, he snuck up on me right here at the end of that first break there, and the wave kind of didn't do anything after that, so we both kicked out.
I mean, just that takeoff there. Let me see.
That was yeah.
This one's a little blurrier, but I mean, that was kind of open there for you.
Yeah, that was a good one to work my my 10-7. That was really nice to be able to feel my board a little bit. Most of my other waves, I haven't had that opportunity on that board to do that. So that was really fun. That board was a little looser than I was expecting it to be. So I was smiling after that wave. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean that looks like I don't know. I mean, how big were you calling that day?
I guess it was double overhead plus. So yeah, that wave breaks really good at that size out there.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a lip throw, but it's kind of little fat. I mean, let's see that again. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, like I said, I had no idea how far back those other guys were that were dropping in. I think there was actually 2 guys behind me on that wave.
yeah, it's hard to tell. It seems like there's always somebody behind you at Swamis. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, definitely you saw on that takeoff, you had to kind of cut through some of the people kind of trying to get over the back.
Yeah, and in that wave, I wasn't even on the shoulder. I was actually in a really good spot. So, to me, I felt like I was in the better spot, even though I was in front. I honestly do believe I was in the better spot of the wave.
Well, that's wisdom, and that's a judgment call,
Yeah. So if I upset you, I'm sorry, but next one's yours. Next
You're
one's
gonna have to
yours.
you have to be like me and change your disguise up a little bit, and snake in too many people.
That won't work for me. Maybe you. They'll come beat me down.
It doesn't work for me either, but
Hey, but overall, there was a lot of guys trying to get a lot of waves, and everybody seemed to be getting along. I didn't really hear any bullshit out there in the lineup.
I mean,
So,
it looked like about, I don't know, 40, 50 people.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
sound about right?
yeah, probably more than that, Phil.
Yeah. And then Liam, you surfed a couple times during the swell over at Swami's as well.
I did. The very first swell at Swami's, I actually took my pink and yellow gun out, and I was actually surfing the Swami's left. And then
Okay.
there was another swell. It was the second swell. This swell was a little bit cleaner, a little smaller, but cleaner, but still double overhead plus. And I decided to take my 9.0 everyday high performance longboard out in those waves instead of my gun, because I had been riding my gun for 2 weeks straight during that swell. So I decided to mix it up, and I wanted to test my equipment to see if my everyday board can handle those kind of waves.
Right.
And the very first wave I took off on, I was in shock. This thing paddles just as fast as my gun.
Yeah.
And I was able to like really maneuver it and just draw these lines and just dodge the crowd, no problem. I was able to get waves out there on the outside, which was pretty cool, because before this, I was never really surfing big Swamis. So it was pretty cool to get some waves out there.
Yeah, I think the smaller board having a little more maneuverability with a thick crowd is probably key, right? Because you have to get through all those little bumps, right?
Hey, but
The more foam is good in those crowds.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time. Big time.
So how do you navigate the crowd, Liam? I mean, there's 40, 50 people out there. I mean, what works for you to, get through the crowd and then still get a couple waves?
Well, I try to sit way outside with Mitch.
He sits by me.
I sit by Mitch way on the outside, and I just wait for the sets, and I wait for the patient. I be patient. I wait for the good ones, because like Mitch said, there are sets that swing really wide out there, and you really have to pick the right one, because last thing you want to do is get crushed by the middle part of the wave. Like, you want to be able to beat that section and just get like a memorable long ride past the lifeguard tower. And I was surprised on my 9-foot longboard, my 9-foot 2+1 longboard, I was able to do that. So, which was pretty cool. And I never thought, because that board is so wide, it's just under 24 wide and 3 1/8 thick.
Wow.
And I was just surprised that it was working in those type of waves, because in those waves, you usually need a narrower board, but having a little more width actually made the board paddle well. just like a 10-0. Like the board paddles a foot longer than it actually is. It's awesome.
Okay. So how did you guys end up, I don't know if you guys surfed the same day, but what part of the swell did you hit Swamis? Did you warm up with Swamis and then hit some other spots, or was it the other way around?
I think it was
The 6th. We went on the 6th,
Yeah,
January 6th.
Okay, yeah.
We went to Swamis.
mm-hmm.
We decided not to go to Blacks that morning, and we kind of kicked ourselves later, but that's another story. But we ended up having a great time at Swami. So we started off there on January 6th on that first swell, and we surfed there that day. And also the next day was good right before it rained. The next morning
Mm-hmm.
it was going on. No, actually that was the 13th. I'm sorry. So we surfed there the 6th, and then we surfed some Blacks too in there as well. We did. And then we went on the 13th and 14th. We also surfed Swamis and Blacks on those days too, of January.
Okay. So
Yeah. Confusing, huh?
did you hit Swamis and Blacks on the same day?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was worked trying to hang with
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that was the Swamis was probably the warm down session, I imagine.
Yeah, on the way in, afternoon.
Yeah.
On the
Okay.
way in. Uh-huh.
Basically
Yeah.
getting back home.
Yeah, it was very
cool,
good.
man.
Yeah.
So Blacks, speaking of Blacks, let's see here. I think I definitely have a picture I think is Blacks. I mean, from what I can tell, this one right here. Okay, so let me share a different screen. So that looks like you, Mitch, and that look like Blacks?
Yeah, that's Blacks.
I could see that kind of lip, and you're behind the lip trying to get under that little hood.
Yeah, I'm trying to get under that hood. That one didn't open up as like you would think it would have. And I believe I had to go around a little bit. It didn't really open up as much as you would think. I don't think I got barreled in that wave.
Okay. That looks also like a double overheadish size.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good wave for there. I like that. So that's a really good day for Blacks. Really good day. We had a lot of fun. Liam and I caught some really nice waves that day.
That's really cool. It looks it looks solid. So double overhead at Blacks though is definitely a little more than double overhead at Swamis.
Yeah, because you'll get those other sets, and it's a strong wave. So anytime it gets double overhead, I've been held down at that size and bigger, and it'll get a hold of you. It'll get a hold of you for sure.
Yeah. I think I'm always amazed at, I mean, how do you stay out of the impact zone, Liam? I mean, when you're at Blacks, I mean, yeah.
Well, there was some times where when Blacks was really big, like maxed out,
Mhm.
we basically, every time we took a wave to North Peak, we would get out, like we would take the wave in, walk down the beach, probably like 200, 300 yards,
Okay.
and then paddle back out behind the peak. And that was the easiest way to get out, because there's no point in just fighting through all that whitewater, because remember, Blacks is a beach break. There's not much of a channel. It's not like a reef where you can just like use the current that will take you into the lineup. You're actually having to read the water left and right and finding the best area to paddle out.
Yeah, I can't even read Blacks language to try to paddle back out. So if you go for a wave and you don't like get in front of the wave, let's say the wave, you didn't make it. Do you go to the shore in that case and walk back around?
You can, depending on where you are. Like if you eat crap right in the impact zone, that's probably, if there's no sets, just try to scramble back out there as fast as you can. You can do that. I've had that happen many, many times where I got lucky. I was able to sneak right back out. But other times, if it was like a 5-6 wave set behind it,
Mhm.
I would take one of the big whitewaters in and do the 300-yard walk to paddle out.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, these are, I didn't ask these questions when I went to Blacks, man. I was just trying to paddle back out. Oh man, my heart was racing, and I guess I should have just turned around, went in and went for the walk and then paddled back out.
You did good, Phil, the way you did.
Yeah, I want to come back. I'm on the injured list right now, so I probably won't be there for a minute, but definitely want to hit blacks again. And I think I'm always thinking about it. Definitely doing the playback in my head constantly. So I think I probably would have gotten out of the water and probably walked back, because there was a couple moments where I didn't make the wave, or I was too far inside already. So might as well get out and walk.
Good. You did good. I'd like to see you out there again with us. And, you know.
Yeah, well, where I'm going to draw the line is at Todos. I mean, maybe I'd get in the boat to go video you guys, but I'm going to try to share. Let's see here. I'm going to go. Let's see this one. And let's. Okay, so here we go. All right, so how about that one right there? That's got to be Todos.
That's Todos.
And I could tell by this picture, you got a vest on, like a real vest.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Jeff Clark vest. It's has 2 cartridges in it.
Okay.
And it's somewhat of an impact vest as well. So it's kind of the all around. It works really good and it's very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So
when you say 2 cartridge, is it like you only pull one at a time, or you pull them both, or how's it? What's the
yeah, if you're not going to make it to the top, you're able to pull one of those. You have one on the left, and on this one you have one on the right.
Okay.
And they're right above your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a decompression, which is up by your shoulder.
Okay, is that little orange valve right there?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so when you come back up and you finally get back out to the boat or the lineup, then you release the pressure?
No, when you're getting hammered under the ocean and you inflate, you come up, and as soon as you come up, you want to deflate.
Okay.
And get ready for your next hold down, and that's kind of what that allows you to get back under the water.
And is that because you're trying to? Is that because you're trying to? You need to deflate so you can paddle more effectively, or what?
So I can get down under the water. That wave obviously will be there to light you up. So
okay,
that's so you can get underneath the water a little bit to escape to escape some of that impact on you. So
right. Like
otherwise
so if you I mean, basically once you use that canister, it's not like the good times are over. Like you basically are that was just to get you to basically get taken
emergency
down again.
That's used in an emergency if you are in big trouble.
Okay.
That's what you want to have. And I just felt safer with that on.
Mm-hmm.
Being new to this area, I'm definitely not a high level big wave surfer by any means.
Okay.
So I want to be as safe as I can when I am doing this with my bro Liam. So
yeah, so this wave right here, that's like, what is that? 20, 25, 20, I mean, how big is this wave?
I don't know, but it was such a fun day. I just probably the funnest day I've ever had surfing. And I just, to take it to a different place, a different level, and to have a great time doing it with great people. Dude, it was one of the best days I've ever had surfing. And I'm addicted.
Yeah.
I'm addicted so much to the whole thing.
And so here's Liam. It was obviously cold. Well, actually, that's a helmet, huh?
It is a helmet.
Okay.
Yeah, I started wearing the helmet recently because I've heard stories of people getting head injuries while surfing, because when you wipe out on a wave like that, it's like hitting pavement because of how fast you're going.
Okay, right.
Or if your board hits you in the head while you're underwater and knocks you out, like the helmet will prevent that.
Okay.
But the helmet gave me a little extra confidence. to
So-
charge more.
So when you're going, when you're at Todos, you're going backside then too.
Yeah, we both are. Like Mitch
Yeah.
and I, like everybody else around us, I think Mitch and I could have been the only goofy footers out there that day. Everybody else was regular foot.
Wow. I mean,
Wait, scratch that. I'm sorry, Phil. There was a couple other goofy foots out there, but there weren't very many goofy foots. Everybody who surfs out there, like a majority of the people we saw, were regular foots.
yeah, I mean, I just assume that any big, all the big wave riders were pretty much regular foot,
Mhm.
I just get
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's some goofies out there. So that's cool though. I mean, that looks super huge. And so I had to share this one too, Liam, because you make me feel good right here. Like even if you ride 25-foot waves, you still might not be graceful all the time.
Yeah. No, there's times where on this day I kind of had issues with the equipment I was using because I actually learned, well, I was actually able to observe other people's boards out there and realized that having girth in the nose matters to get you into the wave and getting you through all those bumps, because it's not like Black's where it's a clean wave. Todos is a big open ocean slopey wave. And what Mitch and I have been discovering, that equipment does matter in certain situations. For open ocean waves, like you want more girth in your gun. And then if you're surfing a shallow big wave like Black's or Porto or any of those spots, you can have a little bit thinner of a nose. So I was kind of struggling out there that day for the first time.
Okay.
But I was
turned it around.
but I turned it around and I was able to get waves, and I was just out there.
I see that board is like you said, looks thin in the nose and actually has like a good amount of rocker in the front. So like you said, probably designed for a cleaner wave, closer to shore, maybe.
You are right.
So you made it there. You pulled it off, which is awesome. That's so cool. Let's see here if I've got. Well, this one's not Todos, but where's this one at, Mitch? Is this also Swamis or is that Oceanside?
Yeah, that's Swamis.
Okay.
That's like on the middle part of the wave, probably in the middle section of Swamis, just starting to hit the reef.
Okay, yeah, because that looks like it definitely hit the reef nice. You got like a nice, fairly thick ledge above your head. So
Just really clean, yeah, just really good conditions.
and so you've been surfing Aipas, I see a lot, Mitch. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've taken a liking to his boards for a while. He has a lot of different boards I still would like to have. So yeah, I've been working with him on my guns.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I saw them post one of your pictures the other day, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got great things. Their whole family makes beautiful surfboards, and I'm down. I really enjoy surfing on them.
Awesome. And then Liam, you're doing Degree33 and I think another brand as well.
Degree33 right now. I'm working on guns with them, and I'm currently working on a new gun with them right now.
Okay.
For Todos, a 9.6. Most people are riding quads or thrusters. I'm getting a 2+1 on my next gun. I'm getting the same setup on my gun as I am on my that I do have on my longboard currently, and I'm going to test it to see how it works in giant waves.
Okay, so as I know, on a regular board for 2+1, the +1's usually a pretty small guy. How big is the +1 on a gun?
I think the side fins are 4 to 4.25 inch, 4.25 inches long, and then the center fin is like 8.5.
Okay. All right. Okay. There you
Got
go.
He's got it down, Phil.
Yeah. So there's you're hitting it right there. That's not the same same board that you were at Todos in that last picture, is it?
No, that's my 9.0. That's the Ultimate Plus I was telling you about earlier. That's my everyday longboard right there.
Yeah, but you rode that at Big Swamis last week. That board, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ride that board?
That's the
he
same
rode that board out there on that big day.
Pretty versatile board then, yeah.
He was doing really good on it. He did good on it.
Let's see here. Got Mitch there. Yeah. So that is pretty cool. Let me pull back on there. So Liam, are you wearing a inflatable vest as well?
I am. I do have a Jeff Clark vest with the CO2 cartridges as well,
Okay.
but that day when we went to Todos, I was wearing an impact vest built from Monera.
Okay.
And,
what's the difference between the two?
Well, the difference between the two is it doesn't have cartridges. So if you get held under, you're going to be held under just for a little while longer, not too much longer, but you just have to wait for it to bring you up to the surface. Whereas the CO2 cartridges, you can just pull it and then it'll bring you up to the surface.
Okay. Right.
But at the same time, having an impact vest, it's hard to get. It's much easier to get super deep, like so you won't get thrown around like a beach ball when you don't.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So it's really easy to get. It's really easy to get under the next wave if you are in the impact zone.
Yeah. So Mitch, the beach ball Farner, right? With his,
that'd be me. I'm keeping that thing plated.
Well, I saw, I don't know, I was watching the Eddie, but I saw some people had like 4 cartridges. That seemed pretty, I mean, maybe gives you more opportunities out there. Have you had to go through both your cartridges, Mitch, in a session?
No, I have not.
Okay, good. All right. Well, that's good news.
I have not.
Okay. Do you have extra cartridges in your bag in the boat? If you,
I do. I took
So if
some. I just haven't had to use them. I've been able to hold my breath or manage to stay out of a bad situation so far.
right. So you could see a possible day where you got pounded twice, used the cartridges twice, went to the boat, and then re-upped and came back out. You think that's what you're trying to be ready for?
Yeah. Well, if it happens, I want to be safe. So I need those on me. So yeah, Phil, I need to have those.
Yeah, you're ready for more waves. I mean, that's cool. How long does it take you guys? Like once you're there, how long are you sitting there surfing before you decide to leave? Is it 2 hours, 3 hours? I mean, what's your time frame?
Well, we get down there in the morning to Ensenada and we take the boat out, and they usually ask us how long we want to stay. And, we try to time it where it's maybe 2 hours before dark. We'd like to come back in.
Right.
So if it's 3 o'clock, I think our last trip, we wanted to come back in around 3 o'clock. So we probably jumped in the water out there around 9 in the morning, and we surfed. I know Liam out surfed me by a long shot, but
No way.
But we surfed. Well, he usually does, but we surfed as long as we could that day. Then the fog came in, and all the surfers and people in their boats, we all had to caravan back in out in the ocean because some of us didn't have GPSs, and it was very, very foggy. So everybody teamed up, and we all went back to the mainland, and it was pretty interesting being that foggy out there. And then there was guys surfing in that fog, and I would not do it. As soon as that fog came in, I was in the boat. I was like, the waves were good size, and I didn't want to mess around with the fog. But,
yeah, when it's gray, it's hard to see where the waves are at. I mean, just in general, right?
Yeah, we had a good window though before that, so it didn't spoil our day. But yeah, Liam and we really had a great day that day. We had a great day.
So how many waves? Did you get that day, Liam? I mean, how many waves are typical?
I got 3.
Okay. So you're doing a lot of waiting out there.
I was doing a lot of waiting. Like it took me like 2 hours to get my first wave.
Okay.
Mitch caught 5 waves.
Okay.
But it took me 2 hours to get my first one. And then my other two, it was probably like another hour and a half, but I'm glad I was able to get two. I was able to get 2 solid waves out of the trip, which was nice.
Okay, so that's kind of the trick too, to probably avoid some poundings, is be patient.
Oh, I got a pounding. My first wave was a wipeout, and I got pounded. I got pounded big time.
Liam has a lot of good energy, and for seeing him to get patient and work on his patience on the waves is really cool, because he has so much energy going to control all that.
Yeah.
It's hard for him. He wants to charge really hard, and so he's learning how to get patient out there and getting those waves that are going to treat him right. I'm really proud of this kid, man. He's charging.
Yeah,
Super.
I got to practice that for sure. I think I'm always worried just on any day with waves, just trying to get my feet, get something, get going, get a momentum. And so it's really hard.
Yeah.
But because of that, I probably don't always get the best waves, right? I'm taking the
Well, it
second
takes a
best
long
wave.
time. Liam's out there really studying the lineup and the swells coming towards him and around him, and he's taking, that's a lot. You got to learn as you're going, and I can see his improvements just surfing locally here. Our opportunities aren't huge. So I can see him doing a lot better.
So this has been like your second or third season down at
Three.
Three.
Me and Liam have been surfing the last 3 years in the winter.
Okay.
And yeah, he's the best surf partner I could ever ask for, man.
Hey, it works both ways.
The dude's a stud, man.
So are you guys eyeballing other locations? I know that
Yep.
You did some Hawaii stuff recently too. What are you looking at? What's the target place for the future?
Right now, as soon as I get better at surfing Todos, I want to go to Mavericks really bad. I really want to go try Mavericks. And believe it or not, Degree33, we have this team rider, Kieran Anderson. He's a big wave charger. And he said that we're actually eyeballing some swells, and he wants to take me up there soon.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so you got to get a thicker wetsuit, I imagine. I mean, it must be freezing up there.
well, I know some people that surfed up there in 4.3s, but if I were to really be comfortable, I would get a 5 mil suit for sure.
So you got to kind of like practice in the suit down here, so you'll be sweating bullets. But I think you got to get used to having that thickness on, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like stretch out the suit a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What are other like accessories and products that you guys are using that's different when you're going for these big days? Like what size leashes, or is there a different leash?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like 11 foot or 12 foot thick leashes, like Nazare leashes from Stay Covered.
Okay.
They've been proven all over the world by some of the best big wave surfers. And those are the type of accessories we use. We usually look for the accessories that all the pros use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, there's nobody out there without a leash, right?
Oh, you would have to be nuts. Unless if you're living in the Greg Knoll era, you had no choice.
Yeah. So
those guys had no choice back in the 50s and 60s. They had to just put their head down and charge. Imagine what they went through, swimming like over a mile in for their board every time they fell.
Yeah. I'm wearing my leash when it's 2 foot. So yeah.
That is good.
So if you're wearing a leash, that means you're a big wave surfer. That's what I'm going with now. What other products? I mean, are there certain earplugs or like other things that I'm not noticing that you guys are,
we're not wearing earplugs, right? We're just wearing like the CO2 cartridge vest or impact vest, 12-foot Nazare leashes, like thick Nazare leashes.
Okay.
That's about it. It's pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
And for me, a helmet, of course.
Yeah, a helmet. That seems like a good idea. Mitch, you wear a helmet while you ride motorcycles, Mitch?
Yes, sir. I wear everything when I ride, and I'm going to get a helmet like Liam as well.
Okay, yeah, because
I like to have one as well.
Yeah, because if you didn't say that, my next question was going to be for your wife, and Yeah, you got to wear the helmet. I think that's like the way to go these days.
Yeah, they're super lightweight. I tried on Liam's new one,
Mhm.
and I was really impressed how it barely felt like I had anything on my head, and gave you a little bit of protection, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it was pretty cool. Not bad.
There's a guy surfs one of the Carlsbad reefs that turns on in the wintertime, and it's not really dangerous, but there's a couple boulders, and every time I see him out there, I'm always like, kind of wish I had his helmet, because it's the kind of place that is fun to open up, but you in the back of your mind, there's these random boulders that, if you blow it, you might hit with your head. So,
Yeah, you can get
so
the 2-foot surf or any size surf. So that, and in the surf that we want to surf, I think we should be wearing them.
Mhm.
training, Liam, I see you've been definitely doing your off-season training.
Yes.
Quite a bit more.
Yes. Big time.
And so that's like breath, like holding your breath. What are you mixing in? Like, what are some of the things that you're doing to, help you prepare?
Well, in the summertime, we do breath holding right here in Mitch's pool with the cinder blocks. And if it's too cold for the pool, I'm always on my bike. Like, cycling has became a new hobby of mine.
Okay.
To really get my cardio level up, and I'll do breath holds on my bike. Like, I'll pick like a distant landmark and try to hold my breath while pedaling to it. And
gotcha.
and then if I'm riding up a hill, instead of breathing heavily, like, I'll just take deep breaths as I'm going up this hill, like the Torrey Pines Hill, for instance, because that thing is a leg burner. That hill is a leg burner. And I just try to like go.
Yeah, you're talking about from the north end, where you access the trail on the north end?
Yeah, because most people, when they go up that hill, like, they get gassed out. Like, they're like, but me, I just try to do this.
Okay.
And then just keep pedaling. Because that's what's really going to build your lung capacity, is controlling your breath. Like, taking deep breaths in a heavy situation, whether you're riding up a hill, that's like, I don't know how far up it is, but pretty far. But if you can do that, take deep breaths while you're doing your exercise, that's the perfect way to get your lung capacity maxed out.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like it's working. I mean, because you guys, I'd say, seem much more comfortable. Like, just even talking about it, you guys seem like you kind of got this thing down, at least the basics. Cool, man.
We're trying.
It's been awesome to watch you guys.
We're having fun. We've been having fun trying to. If we're gonna go surf Todos or a couple of these places, we better kind of try some different things. So
absolutely.
So are there other people that you, now that you've been doing it, that you kind of running into that are also, or is it always like different people when you get out there?
We're brand new at it, so it's every time's the first time for us. New people.
It is.
It's a new.
Okay.
It's a new thing, but
So you probably learn.
As people go, I would give a shout out to me and Liam, to our buddy Matt, because he kind of started this a few years ago and got us all going, and he kind of brought us, and we kind of learned with Matt. So Matt's a good friend. He just joined the Navy.
That's Thor.
That's right.
Thor Squatch. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me pull
shout out to
Thor up. I think I got a picture. Oh yeah, right here. Here we go. So let's see. Let me share.
Yeah, Matt charges really hard.
Yeah.
And, he does a lot for the surfing.
He does, and a lot for the surf community. And he actually gave us our first opportunities to go down there and prove ourselves. And I don't know, just our big wave bug has definitely come from him a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was just nice of him to give us that opportunity to be able to go down there and give it our best.
So was he the first person that took you over there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Liam.
Yeah, he looks like a pretty good sized kid. Looks like he's in shape, and looks like like you said, he's moving on to the Navy, and it looks like he's also spending some time there with Surfers Healing, and so cool. Yeah, this guy is all about it. He's looks like a full waterman.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
That's cool. So Thor Squatch. In fact, hold up here since he's we'll give him the major shaka.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a big wave shaka right there. So yeah, so back at you, Thor Squatch. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so and then you got is he the boat driver, or he's connected with the boat driver? Obviously you have to have a skilled person to get you out there.
Yeah, well, he has a lined up captain, and it actually anybody can just go down there and get a boat. Matt just happened to have a really good captain and a good sized boat, because we had a pretty good sized crew. So we needed a big boat. So that was always good. Matt always had this really good sized boat, made it very nice and comfortable for our day. So yeah, but anybody can go down there, and if it's from a Ponga, which Pongas go for about $275 for the day.
Okay.
So $275 will get you out surfing for the whole day. If you want to take the small Ponga, which are awesome. There's nothing wrong with that boat at all.
Yeah,
So,
it's actually pretty cheap. I mean, for the day. It's
yeah, you got 2 or 3 buddies, and you know, yeah, it's a great way to go surfing for sure.
Absolutely.
Super fun.
yeah. So both you guys are part of the Swamis surfing club, right?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you might get a couple frowns in Oceanside when you're in Oceanside, Mitch, but
Yeah, well,
so
I love Oceanside. I love my Oceanside.
yeah, that's cool though. So you guys have Liam, you've been a part of the Swamis club for a while too.
I have.
And so I see an award here. Mitch has a button up on, and then that's Shay Roney. He's the president of the club.
Yep, and he's also a former pro longboarder as well. He used to do the longboard tour like in the 90s and early 2000s. He was up there with some of the world's best in his day.
That's awesome. So I mean, that's a pretty insane wooden trophy right there. That thing is cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, Mitch.
I didn't know that was coming, and Shay at our Christmas party has certain awards that he does every year, and yeah, he just blew me out of the water with that award. Yeah,
That's
it's just
beautiful.
great community of people. And I don't know what else to say to Shay, but thank you. He said the most kindest words, and really touched me. So
Yeah, that's pretty
it's
cool.
it was just a lot of fun. Group of people having a good time all the time. And Shay does a lot of work for everybody, and he's got a great attitude. And yeah, he blew me out of the water with that, and just I don't know, it was speechless kind of a moment for me, so that was a really fun night to share that with so many friends and my wife. So
is that the holiday party?
Yeah, it was the holiday party that we have every year. Yeah. And so yeah, there was a live band and a lot of good food and some awards like that. So yeah, he does that every year. So pretty cool.
I'm gonna share a couple clips from Liam here.
Yeah.
So let's see. Get this screen shared. Find this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna play this. This is at Todos. I'm pretty sure here. Oh yeah, Bob.
No.
I mean, that thing is huge. Was that first wave you, or it's the second wave, huh?
The second wave's me.
Okay, here we go. So here comes Liam. Yeah, look at that day. Wow.
Yeah, I was happy to get one of those waves on film.
Oh yeah, that looks super cool. I mean, And then so right about there, I mean, how far do you keep going with that wave? Does it stop about there, or you can just you're still
I
going?
just keep going.
I
Like, you
think
can go all the
he's
way
still
back.
going.
Still
All the way
going.
to the
Yeah,
island.
there you go. Wow, that's so long. That's an amazing wave right there. This one, Liam, looks like it's probably like Encinitas or something.
Blacks. Yep, that was
Blacks.
black.
Okay.
That was my first session on the 10-0.
Whoa, the bottom turned into the barrel. That was sick.
Nice wave.
Wow. Yeah, that was super clean. I want to watch that again. I like that.
Good wave.
Oh yeah, your hands were out. I mean, you were ready for that thing. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
That was a good wave. Definitely a memorable one for sure.
And is that this board here?
Yep, that's the board.
Okay. Yeah, just playing a little bit of that.
For the first time. But yeah, this board worked pretty good at Todos. Like, it kind of like handling the bump was a little bit of an issue, but overall it does drop into just about anything on top.
It's a nice board.
That's cool, man. Yeah, Degree33. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So Mitch,
That's a pretty board.
the last time you wrapped up your surf trip in Mexico, how was that drive back?
Yeah, our drive back was we took, when we got done surfing, we went to go eat, and then we headed back home to the border, and the three of us got lost.
You got lost on the other side of the border.
We were in Mexico. We couldn't find
I
California.
couldn't even find California. All the roads down there are so confusing. It's
Yeah.
so easy to get lost, and we were lost down there for what,
It was
3.5 hours?
Yeah, it was dark, and we kept getting spun around and all this traffic, and we couldn't get to the line, right, Liam?
We couldn't even get to the line. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how many times we circled around.
And Liam and I both had an effing breakdown a couple times where
We did.
where we thought life was over.
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
were-
gosh.
we
So
were-
you probably ended up down some scary streets, or I mean,
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did. No, we ended up, gosh, like in some, it's very sketchy down there, especially at night.
yeah.
And
no,
then we ended up, I don't even know how far inland it was, but as soon as we were approaching the border, like we didn't even know we were like 5 minutes away from the border, we get shooken down by the police
oh no.
for having our boards, according to him, hanging too far out of our car. It's like there was other people down there doing the same thing, and they never got pulled over.
He was a shortboarder. He's probably a shortboarder.
Or a foam boarder.
You know, because I could see shaking you guys down for that. I'd be like, dude, what is
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah.
Did you tell him you were surfing Todos or anything? Or
No, we didn't.
We finally made it to the border, but it was a 6-hour line. And so we decided to go to the other border, which is, I think, Caity,
Uh-huh.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
the Otay Mesa.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Mesa. So we decided as a group to go to go for it. It was night, looked like, so we go into this little town, and then we pull up this little road to go to the border, and then we, like Liam said, we got pulled over, and and then he wanted money, and we paid him money, and he let us go. But
The longboard tax. How much does that cost these days?
it was $100. I could have bargained with him.
$100 sounds about right.
I didn't want to bargain. I wanted to go home. I
So-
gave him $100, and he let us go, and the border was right there. I mean, he was waiting for people like us.
So
Yeah.
who was in charge of communicating? I mean, who's the lead Spanish speaker here?
No one.
No one.
He spoke English. Well, he spoke English. He spoke enough English.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he knew how to speak English. Of course, I didn't know. I went to give him the $100, and he turned his back away on me.
Right. You can't hand it right to him. You got to.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. See, I didn't know. I don't ever go down there. So then he did his little sneaky come through the window thing and he took the money out of my hand.
Right.
So yeah, it made me worried a little bit what was going on when he didn't take my money. I thought, oh boy.
Yeah,
But,
well, you're lucky it wasn't $150 for not speaking Spanish that well, you know.
Yeah, and I have to say, because Liam had $5 on him, and he asked me for $95. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a funny statement in the heat of the moment. Liam's like, Mitch, do you have $95? I got 5.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's like, I wanted to strangle him at the time. We were just all at each other's throats.
Yeah,
man.
we were. But we were
You
happy to make it through it safe.
Yeah, me and Liam almost duked it out a couple times coming home.
Yeah.
Hey, Liam had 5 on it, you know. I mean,
Liam had $5, man. The rest was riding on my ass, man. We were going to jail.
oh man, yeah, I haven't been
That was
down there.
so scary.
I haven't been down there in a while. Initially because of that, and then I just haven't been traveling a lot lately. But you know, back in the day, it was $20. You know, then it turned to $40, and you know, we've had cars confiscated, like while you're, you know, in your wetsuits. Them like they tow your car away, and police driving cars that have American plates, like that's their cop car, has US plates. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
The short stop sign behind the bush, you run that guy. Oh man. So it's pretty, you know, I imagine you got to have $100 stashed away that you're not planning to use on the trip.
Yeah, but on your way home, you want that.
Like you want to bring at least $300 down with you. Like for example, like pitch in for the boat. And then have like at least a couple $100 left if you do get shooken down by the police, because down there it's just they want to scam you.
Yeah, that'll save you the scam and a fist fight with Mitch if you bring that extra $95 next time.
Yeah, you better. Boy, that was pretty deal for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got out of there. We did good. We stuck together. It's what goes on sometimes. It was the highs and lows of the high of the great day, and then that last part was a low with leaving Mexico. Is
because they couldn't find California.
Yeah, because when you said you got lost, I mean, I used to get lost over there all the time, or you're not lost, but just hang out. And so if you get lost by the main border, a lot of those roads, like you said, they don't really come back. So you end up over by Mexicali.
Really difficult.
Yeah, and then once you end up over there, then you're it's almost easier just to go to Otay at that.
And when you do that 3 times in a row, which we did,
yeah,
we were losing it.
Oh yeah,
we lost it.
We
lost it. We lost our minds.
We both lost it. Like none of us had access to Siri. The only person who had access to Siri was my friend Saxon.
Okay.
And because of him, we were able to get back to where we needed to be because he had Siri and he was sitting in shotgun.
Yeah, I almost was going to get a taxi and just have the taxi driver follow.
Right.
That's where was was going to be. That's where we were heading.
Yeah, a guide for sure. So it sounds like you need to get one of those Spanish apps. You know, you're gonna have to start learning a few words so you can pull over and ask somebody which way to go.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, well, let's hope this doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Well, at least you guys made it back, man. That's
we did.
That's super cool.
We did.
So I guess on that note of big waves, I want to see if I can pull up a couple other screenshots here. We'll go here. Oops, close that one down. And this one here. So the Eddie, I think you said you watched that, Liam. Did you watch some of that?
I sure did. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I tried to. I had it on all day and I kept going back and forth. I got to admit, I was definitely more intrigued with it than a lot of other surf contests that I've watched in the last couple of years. What's crazy is that wave it's huge, and it's not, it's not like perfection. It's just like a survival wave, and there's a bunch of closeouts. And so, everybody that goes out there, I mean, they pretty much have to plan to get crunched, right?
Yeah, I have some buddies that actually surf over there. They grew up over there. Like my buddy Show, actually, he's actually one of the first kids to get a barrel out there. Like there's a video of him getting barreled on the outside on like a 25, 30-foot Waimea wave. He didn't come out, but the fact that he was able to pull in and ride inside the tube for a little while was pretty impressive. At 17 years old, being one of the very few people to be in a barrel at Waimea, that was just awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw so many of those people, which are, obviously everybody there is just an amazing waterman and waterwoman, and they were getting crunched. You'd see them going for it. It would look like makeable on the takeoff, and then all of a sudden, within a split second, it would turn into a closeout.
Yeah, that's how. Like, this is what I've heard some people describe Waimea, because I have a lot of friends in Hawaii who surf it every big swell. They said most of the time, like if you don't get around that section, it's just a huge drop and then a huge explosion.
Yeah, it must be scary. I mean, the sound of that must just be, trembling. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I remember going there, and when I went there, this was the same year I surfed Big Sunset. There was an eddy swell that hit one of those weeks, and the waves were so big and powerful that you can feel it vibrating through your chest while you're standing on the beach. Like the whole beach was shaking. It was, I was like, this is next level.
Yeah.
Like I never seen like the waves completely shake the beach. It almost felt like an earthquake.
Yeah, I've been there on a couple of big days, and definitely on the big shore break days. And man, you feel it. And then you see people constantly getting drugged out to sea. It just looks like crazy, because it's like, it looks like about, it's maybe 3 inches of water that somehow goes up the beach and can just like grab you by the ankles and then just pull you back. I mean, like that is crazy.
Well, that's why the lifeguards over there take it very seriously, and they tell you, when they tell you to move back, you move back. And then there's one guy that's like driving up and down the beach on a quad saying, please move back. We have a very large set approaching. The lifeguards down there are aware of everything.
Yeah,
like they see everything.
You saw 50,000 people, or roughly, at that last event, and so it looked like there was a few moments where, they were having a hard time controlling the crowd, because I saw some waves come in and take like 10, 15 people, dogs, kids, purses, bags, everything. Just yeah, it's wild, man. It's a really scary place for sure. I bought the invite list up here so you can see. I mean, there's a bunch of famous people. Slater, I was hoping Slater would paddle out, but he's definitely a tactician, and I'm sure focusing on the season ahead. But what I was amazed to see is that a lot of these people that did make it out, I've seen like on their Instagrams, for example, in the last like month or two, like John or Nathan Florence. These people have like injuries, and so you'll see like 2 days before the comp, they're posting something like, oh yeah, the doctor says I've got 6 weeks more out of the water and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden the eddy hits and I see half these guys out there. I'm like
that's incredible.
Like it's like a broken back, but I'm still out. I'm like, how do they pull that off? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like look at Billy Kemper. His knee was injured really bad. He injured it during the Dahui backdoor shootout, and the guy was still out there charging 40, 50-foot face eddy waves with an injured knee. And that just shows you how dedicated all those guys are to their category of surfing. Like they're really dedicated to big wave surfing, and it's in their hearts. If you can go out there with a serious injury and the doctor tells you to stay out for 6 weeks, that just shows you how incredible they are.
Yeah, I imagine, I mean, just the nature of big wave surfing though, right? Like, I think injuries at some point catch up, and I think at some point, well, I mean, you can't tell by the amount of legends that went out there again, but you would think that you'd have to slow down or maybe put big wave surfing on the shelf in order to kind of continue surfing in general. I know that before the event, I was I had like 6 or 7 names I was just kind of cheering for, and one of them was Kiala Kenley, and at the same time, I knew, I was like, man, the last few events I've seen her, she's been just munching it. I mean, taking severe wipeouts. And then in this last event, she got a wave, and, she looked like she was barely keeping it together. I mean, she made the wave, but it looked like almost, probably some injuries just because she didn't have her feet steady or her body steady. So, yeah, I mean, what do you, I mean, how do you guys manage that? I mean, like, how do you know when to say when, or is there a when? How does that work?
Well, basically what we do is we have limitations. Well, I'm not saying that if you put your mind to something, there really is no limitations, but you have to know what your body can handle. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, it's all about the training that you do, the equipment that you ride. Everything matters in that moment when a giant swell hits, especially one that hasn't hit since the last Eddie or the last El Nino, whatever it is. You just have to be ready.
Yeah. What about you, Mitch? I mean, what do you have any markers in your head of like, okay, this is like how I run this? Or
I just know that I know my limits, and I don't have any big major plans to do anything really crazy like that. I just enjoying what I'm doing with Liam, and step by step. I like to see him do what he likes to do, and kind of on this journey with him a little bit right now. And
he is,
and
he really is.
We're just in the summertime, we like to train a little bit, and every winter we're trying to pick it up and enjoy it. It's just super fun. We both enjoy the challenge of trying to better our surfing all the time. And he's young and I'm old, and it works perfect. We both kind of have the same drive. Yeah. And he's going to far pass me by a long shot, and it's going to be awesome to watch. So it's going to be fun.
Well, I just do it for the fun. I'm not a professional surfer, but I just do it for the fun, just like Mitch.
Liam loves it. And we're learning from the big dogs and trying to take little steps. So we both enjoy large waves.
Yeah.
Are we surfing the biggest waves? No. But we're taking little steps towards that, and we're not done yet. Me and this kid, we're not done yet.
Well, we have a good time. Every time we do it, we have the best bond out there. We look out for each other. So a brotherhood basically is what it is a good way to describe it. But
I guess that's how I approach it.
We just do it for fun. We do it for fun. We don't do it for fame.
Right. Yeah. The man, I mean, I've been on the injured list, and not sure. I was out of the water for 2 months, so I'm just, my shoulder, neck, this whole area is just kind of out of tweak. And I tried to go out the last time, and this is not from surfing big waves. This is just from normal life, normal day in the life of Phil. But I couldn't even pop up. Have you had any injuries that have kind of held you back, Liam? Like any?
I haven't had that many serious injuries yet that affects my pop-ups or anything like that. But I've had injuries that have affected my maneuverability. Like, I remember one time what did I do? I kind of pulled a muscle in my leg, and I was thinking about staying out of the water for a while. And this was on a small day, but the waves were so good, 3 to 5 foot glassy. Who wouldn't want to surf that? Right. So I wasn't able to whip my longboard around like I usually do. I just had to take it slow, like just slow down my surfing a little bit, nose ride, do whatever I had to do to not put so much pressure on that injury. But luckily it wasn't anything severe. It wasn't a tear. It wasn't a broken bone, just a minor pull.
Right. And how about you, Mitch? Anything keep you out of the water for any extended period of time?
To be honest with you, I've had several injuries. So I haven't had one in a really, well, I did break my ribs with a Liam, but no, I've had several injuries and it's not fun. It's just not fun. You just have to put the work. You just have to do your best that you can with your therapy.
Well,
So
that was I think that injury you just referenced was like last summer or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
mean, you're out hitting big waves half a year later, so that's cool.
That's good. Yeah. And broken ribs, there's not much therapy for those but rest. So that's one of those injuries that,
There's no cure for.
but your injuries just key. I know we've already talked about what you're doing, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah, it's weird. I've been kind of lifting the little blue weights, these little guys, and everything feels fine. I have mobility now. I can move around. If I do certain things, I feel it.
Yeah, you're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to, and your body will let you know when it's getting better. Those little weights and all that little stuff, you're building on that. So that will eventually work for you, dude.
Like depending on what kind of injury it is, like if it's like the broken ribs or if you pull your rotator cuff, those injuries, you have to let them heal on their own. Like there's no cast, there's no anything that's going to make it heal faster. You just have to let it heal naturally.
Yeah, I think I have a combination thing. It's definitely a nerve because it knocked out everything. But as things are repairing, I definitely see a bunch of points, in this area that seem to probably before the injury were already feeling a little weird. So yeah, I'm trying to not push it like you said, Liam.
I wish you the best, bro. Phil, wish you the best. Dude.
Yeah,
it was
healing
humbling.
light. I wish you healing light, Phil, that you're going to be
Thank
back
you,
out
man.
there shredding with us.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's been very humbling last session I had. So yeah, so I'm trying to work. I'm definitely determined to get back.
You will.
Oh, and you're going to be back and better than ever.
Oh,
You're going to be
dude.
shredding harder than me.
Well, I need to go surfing with you because that'll make me feel better without those kind of words, Liam.
Okay, well, as soon as you're better, we'll go surf Sano, Oceanside, whatever you want to do. Maybe we'll do a full surf day with you, Mitch, and myself. That would be a fun day.
Yeah, I would love to. Definitely, I would like to get both you guys. It's funny, we tried to link up this last summer to do some video, and then it didn't work out for just scheduling. And then I saw Mitch over at the King and Queen of the Pier contest. Where I happened to just roll up last minute to get some footage. I look down the beach and I see that board, the Degree 33 with the kind of Mexican blanket colors on the deck. And I saw Liam, so I'm like, that I could tell that was you. You were probably 2 or 3 peaks down the beach, but I'm like, that's Liam. I turned the camera, I kind of ignored everything going on at the contest, and yeah, I got a couple of you down the beach, which were pretty cool.
Soul surfing.
Yeah, there was all kinds of like people in between heats from that contest, which everybody surfs really good, and then there was the entourages of the competitors, and yeah, I saw a lot of legends surfing all around you. So I did see you get a couple fun ones though, so it was pretty stoked.
I had
Stoked
fun
for you for sure. You guys probably didn't go to this. I'm just gonna wrap up our episode here and kind of let some people know about a few of the things that they can go find on my YouTube channel. So there's a couple snippets from a punk rock performance, all the Groms and Oceanside and North.
Hello.
So check this out. It was I think they said the event started at 6:30.
Yeah.
I was kind of not sure if I was going to make it. I decided to go. I get there like a few minutes after 7. The line was like wrapped around onto the street. I get in line. The line doubled within like 10 minutes, and the line was wrapped around the block pretty much.
Wow.
And pretty much like looked like all the heads that you would see out surfing in Oceanside. And it was a super strong local community, so it was pretty cool. I didn't bring my tripod, and I didn't want to go to the door and be like, oh, I'm with the media to try to milk it or anything. I just stood in line, and so basically me and I mean probably, I don't know, 100 people in line still. We all missed the premiere. because they got to a full house and they showed it. But I made it after. As soon as they were done with the premiere, people left, and then a lot of people in line made it. So I did get in, and I had a really good time. Definitely watching the band. The band was pretty good, and all the crew, local people over there. It was pretty awesome. So I haven't seen the premiere yet. I'm gonna go check it out. You guys want to check it out? Caity Simmers put it together, had a lot going on, had her hand in it. Sure. And but it was definitely a really good party and amazing vibe. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Let's see here. And I also had, let's see here. Hold on a sec. Man, I think I'm just going to go with that. The Eddie, I did get some of the Eddie on there. Oh, I know what I have here for you guys. I did have some of the Eddie on there too. So if you missed the Eddie, you can definitely go see that. Hold on here. Let me try that again, people. Technical difficulties over here. I got to close out some screens. Sorry about that. Here we go. Eventually, where's it at? Oh man, Phil's having some technical difficulties, people. Let's try it this way. All right, got that for you there. All right. So I got a fantasy league. I know this is shortboarding stuff, so probably not Mitch and Liam's cup of tea, but if anybody out there shortboarders we're going to watch the tour, Pipeline, I'm sure you guys will probably want to check that out. Pipeline starts up, the window started today, but of course the conditions weren't good. Yeah. So season's about to start up. Surfing, they don't have a set day on when they're going to run, but if you go to the WSL website, you click on the fantasy link, you're able to search for leagues that have been created there. So I created a league called Pro Surf Blog. So if you go there, type in Pro Surf Blog, bam, we come up. You guys probably don't play fantasy surfing, but basically you go on there and you choose, 4, 5, 6 different competitors, men and women. And at the end of the day, they tally up, however close your picks got to the win. And it just kind of carries on through the year, through the season. Yeah. And so right now everybody's kind of, tied for first place. But I plan to whoop up every name you see on there. Kyan, he got me motivated. You see his name there to get it going. And also Joe Ramirez from the Harbor. He got me going too. I'm not sure what his alias is here because everybody's got aliases, but but yeah, so basically if someone's able to beat me, I don't know, I'm probably just going to buy him some tacos or something. I see him around town, give him a bag of oranges from the tree or something. But yeah, so basically everybody go check it out. You can sign up there and see if you can beat me. I'm going to be bringing it up all year long as it's going, talking about who's winning, who's not picking them as good as me. Yeah, my wife does really good too because she pays attention to stuff, so she's on Instagram. So she's like, like everybody's got like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, like all the competitors. And so my wife, she's got them on her follow list just in general, seeing what's going on and looking at bikini styles and things like that. So well, at this point, I don't even share who I'm picking. She's in the league too. She doesn't tell me who she's picking, right? Once the event starts, it reveals who you picked. So, if I do mention like, oh, well, I got so-and-so, and she's like, oh, well, I don't know, he's having another kid and, his kid's on the way. Or she knows like the drama, they just moved out of town or his chick is, upset about something, And so she actually, I think she's done better than me the last few seasons, and she doesn't even surf, but she knows who's going to win.
So we do a thing here at Supercross. They do the same thing, and my kids are all follow Supercross. So it's the same as surfing, and they do the same in motocross. And my kids every Saturday are doing their fantasy stuff. And
Moto, yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so you got another backstory for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It helps, right? Yeah, that totally helps.
Mhm.
So anyways, everybody, thanks for joining in. And Mitch and Liam, man, it was so good.
Thanks, Phil.
Hey, thank you for everything, Phil.
Yeah, and we definitely got to do
Yeah.
some videos soon, especially if I'm not surfing. And everybody else out there, you know, like I think some people thought like their surfing's improved because they've been getting better wave count, they've been performing, but it's just because I've been out of the water, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so don't pat yourself on the back, man. Once I get this going, I'm gonna be right back over to the peak. You know,
Phil's
the
coming.
attitude.
He's
That's the attitude.
coming.
That's
Phil's
the-
coming.
dude. Yeah, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, there it is.
You gotta wiggle it out. Yeah, you guys. So
I'll give you double shakas.
oh, nice.
Always-
So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Go follow Mitch, Liam on Instagram. They got all kinds of cool stuff. And if you see them in the water, give them a shout out. You know, give them a wave so they can train for these, you know, giant beasts that they're hunting down during the right season. So thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. And thanks for chiming in, and check out all the other